knife with no forks.
Okay, I stand before you guys today proudly wearing a Superman shirt and a Batman cape. When I was offered to do a TED Talk, I said I was going to do a topic on Batman and Superman. I know, it's childish, but these two are superheroes that everybody knows about, and they were superheroes that changed my life as a growing boy. If you haven't seen the movie Batman vs. Superman, that's okay, because I'm not here to talk about the movie. I'm here to talk about an observation I've made about the numerous Batmans and Supermans that we come across in our day-to-day lives. And you'll see what I mean by that. But first, we have a question to answer. Who is morally better, Superman or Batman? We'll hold a comparison between the two, their strengths and weaknesses, and we'll answer the question, who is morally better? Let's start off with Superman. Who doesn't love Superman? He has the strength to move planets, the speed to outrun light, the durability to withstand whatever punches get thrown at him. Heck, he's practically invincible. But what's more important is he takes those powers and he uses them for good. And because of that, the people of Metropolis and of the world love him. They praise him and some even worship him. When people see the symbol, that Superman symbol right there, they know that there is somebody that is out there that they can hope towards. Somebody that they can pour their gratitude and love towards. Someone whose name's Superman. So, if Superman is this amazing, you have to ask yourself, what weaknesses does he have? Well, a lot of us are familiar with the kryptonite weakness, yes, but that's a physical weakness. Let's think moral weaknesses. Well, you have to ask yourself, how hard is it to be the good guy when you have an infinite amount of power? In real life, we don't have an infinite amount of power. Sometimes we have to make tough choices, or we have to deal with things that aren't in our powers. This is not the case for Superman, though. He's not limited by the same laws of space and time, and so he presents an unrealistic view on how to handle all problems. Another thing is, how hard is it to be the good guy when you're being loved and worshipped? Superman's love and worship, albeit maybe it's deserved, but what if we took that away? What if we flipped the script and everybody hated Superman? How would he hold up? Would he still fight for the people? Okay, next up, Batman. Let's actually start off with Batman's negatives. Batman, like us, is a human. And so, unlike Superman, he has to abide by the same laws of space and time. And because of this, he has to make decisions that some people are not happy with. There's two different crimes happening. Which one do you save? There's two different people about to die. Which one is he going to go for? The question here is it okay to sacrifice the good of some for a greater good? Sometimes Batman has to make these tough choices, but sometimes the responsibility gets to him and he can become selfish. Another thing is, the people of Gotham City actually hate Batman. Batman is scary. You see, Superman inspires hope, Batman instills fear. Superman is the hero of the day, but Batman is the hero of the night. Superman is your friend, and he commands respect because people see him doing good. But Batman is your enemy, and he commands respect because people are just afraid of him. The question here is it okay to rule by fear instead of ruling by hope? And also, just one small thing, is it okay to do good if you support crime in the process? Because a lot of people consider Batman a criminal. Now, I just trashed on Batman, but it's not all that bad though. See, because Batman is limited by space and time, he doesn't provide a very optimistic view on how to handle our problems like Superman, but the view is more realistic, because we can't be everywhere at once the way Superman can be. And so, Batman is there to provide us that more realistic take. As well, even though people hate him and they make and Batman makes people scared of him, it's kind of inspiring, because despite the fact that people don't recognize him for what he's doing, despite the fact that he's considered the villain, he continues to do good anyways. He continues to do good even when he doesn't get the recognition. And that's called ultimate altruism. And Batman is oftentimes considered the hero that we may not want, but the hero that we need. Now, that's enough with the analysis. We have a question to answer. Who is morally better? Is it Superman or Batman? Both of them have their strengths and weaknesses. They're both generally good. The time you've been waiting for. The answer, who is morally better, is, I did not read that far into it. I don't have an answer for you guys. But that's okay, because you guys can decide for yourself, but I also don't think there is a right answer. It's not the idea anyways. See, the reason why these two are so different is because of their upbringing. Batman was raised from a twisted and depressing childhood. He had no parents. And also, he's only human, so he can't replace Superman. Superman is an alien with superpowers, so not only can he not replace Batman, but he also shouldn't. It's not a role for him to play. These two disagree on how to enforce justice so much. They're basically polar opposites, and yet you'll notice on the screen, every single version of the Justice League has both of them in it, and they're always front and center, because they're both, even though they're polar opposites, they're both necessary in the fight against evil. So, what this means is, no matter what they are good at, no matter what strength they've been given, they use it towards the goal of fighting for good. And what this means for us is this. I made an observation about people around me. You are either a Batman or a Superman. If you are a Superman, then you are a big picture type of person. Somebody who can inspire masses and has the charisma to tell others to do good. If that is you, then be that Superman. Other people, unfortunately, may not have the same charisma, but they do have the mental strength to do what's right, even when people don't appreciate them for it. If that's you, then be that Batman, and that'll be your way of doing good. No matter what it is, whether you're a Batman or Superman, you can be that type of good. And understand that whichever one you are, you can also sometimes borrow traits from the other. For example, I like to be Superman more because of his reputation, but sometimes I have to make a tough decision in which I turn into Batman quickly, and then once I'm done with that tough decision, I revert back to the Superman. So, one last point. Batman and Superman are amazing, but if you take away their powers, because we are talking about a fictional world, right? So if you take away their powers and everything that's unrealistic about them, they really are just Clark Kent of the Daily Planet and Bruce Wayne, the millionaire. And yet, I would still consider Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne superheroes. Because to be a superhero, I would say all you have to do is be good and proactively do good. And so, there's a lot of good people in this world, but there's a difference between a good person and a superhero. Good people react to things around them in good ways, whereas superheroes are proactive in doing good. Good people react, while superheroes proact. So, in the case of Batman and Superman, even though they are just Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent, they are superheroes because they go out of their way to do good for other people, even when it doesn't directly involve them. And so we can learn from this. I'm sure all of you guys are good people, but if you want to take that next step and be a superhero, then be proactive in finding good things to do. Now, I'm going to take this off. First, the cape. Alright, you get the idea. Okay, I took off the cape and I took off the shirt. But if you'll notice, I'm actually still wearing Batman and Superman despite me not having their clothes. Because it's not about their costumes, it's about what they are to you on the inside. And so now I ask, whichever one you are, whether you're a Batman or a Superman, just focus on doing good, serving justice, and being the true superheroes of this world. Thank you.